Chương trình này được bảo trợ bởi
Family Joy, tổ ấm y tế của mọi gia đình, 714 898 0765.
Hi, welcome back to the OC Health and Education Show on Little Saigon TV. I'm your host, Julie Yip. Today we have two guests, that's Chen and Mr. Pham on the show to talk about the importance of Veterans Day. They share with us the importance of what they do as active duty reserve, and also as a special commander to help the community. I want the audience to know a little bit more about your personal life, who you are, what you do, because I know in the conversation when I was talking to you, Jay, you mentioned one thing that I was really intrigued about is that you also had some experience with college entrance. Because my daughter, she's a senior right now.
Yeah.
And she wants to get into school and she wants to get into an Ivy League.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about, first of all, your family, but also, your day job.
Yeah. So my parents are immigrants from Taiwan, and just like the Vietnamese, they hold education in very high regard. I grew up in Southern California, went to local public schools, and then went to Harvard University.
Oh, so you went to Harvard.
Went to
That's
Harvard.
where my daughter wants to go.
Yes, that's a good choice. I say Harvard is the Mount Sac of the East. So had a great chance to go there. My brother also attended, and my parents always really emphasized higher education. And then after Harvard, I came home, worked in management consulting, so big Fortune 500 companies. Then started my own business in real estate, and then got back involved in the community. So did interviewing for Harvard. So if you want any tips on what interviewers are looking for, I've been interviewing for Harvard for over a decade.
Wow.
And then got elected to the school board, where I found I could really make an impact in teaching kids, how to get into a great school, and also make an impact on public education overall.
Wow. So there's so many things that you've been doing. I just don't understand how all of that led to you enlisting or being part of the reserve. How did that transition happen?
I always felt like as Asian Americans, we need to do more. We need to be out there and do our part and achieve leadership. Now, some of the most highly decorated military units in U.S. history have been Asian American, like the 442nd, primarily, Japanese American. And of course, we know in the Vietnamese community, there's a very strong tradition of military service. But military service has, dropped off in recent years. Not a lot of people are joining.
So what intrigued you to join?
The chance to serve my country, the chance to be a part of the military, and to work with people that normally you wouldn't get to work with. Right when you get into high school, you're already in different tracks. You're on the honors track, and then you have the kids who go to drama, the kids who are in athletics. And then when you go to college, it splits even further. But in the military, everybody works together no matter what their background is. Doesn't matter if you're Asian, African American, Latino, you all work together to accomplish the mission. And these days in America, you don't have that many opportunities for all these different people from different backgrounds to work together on a singular mission.
I like that idea, to remind everybody to come together on a single mission. I think that's where our community and even our country needs to go to. Julie thấy đó là Jay nói đó là, tại Julie hỏi là tại sao mình có rất nhiều thành công. Mình đi học, mình có lập gia đình, mình đi Harvard, mà có công việc làm, mà tại sao anh Jay muốn vô làm công việc military services? Tại Jay nói một cái gì mà Julie nghe là rất hay á, là trong military service không có ai cũng làm việc cũng hợp tác nhau hết. Thì Julie thấy đó là rất là tốt hả chú? Chú thấy trong kinh nghiệm của chú đó là chú thấy trong cái military service mấy anh chú có hợp tác nhau không?
Dạ, cái đó là cái mà rất là nhiều người bây giờ họ muốn tìm hiểu về cái đó. Recently one of the big magazine in Japan, the Combat magazine, they want my history on their magazine, and that they just doing the first issue in October. So they asked me the question: are you and the American member work together really good? I said, in the war, you don't have to say anything. We automatically work together. So that's a beauty about service. No matter that's how the black. Remember, used to be, discriminate, but in the military, there is no discrimination. Black
so trong military không có cái kỳ thị.
Yeah. So started in the Vietnam War early, and the black and the white work together really good, and that's why they build up stronger and stronger until today.
Tại Julie thấy là lúc mà Julie volunteer cho cái đợt này hội cảm ơn anh á, Julie thấy rất nhiều chú bận quần áo mà cái military clothes, mấy cái xe, cái nhóm đó là nhóm gì chú?
Cái nhóm xe đó là một số mấy người mà hậu duệ đó, the second generation in US, they collect the military vehicle, and that's why they want to pay their appreciation, because like they help in the funeral, and they spend the whole day over there helping the funeral, and then when the day they take the casket to the graveside, they take the jeep and they go over there with them.
So it's basically kind of like almost like a car club, but also an organization that gets together to celebrate and to honor.
They do more. They try to show their appreciation with the people in service, because some of the military members, mấy người mà cựu quân nhân khi mà họ chết ở bên Mỹ này đó, nhiều gia đình không có nhiều người quen đó, thì họ đến họ giúp đỡ để mà help them out.
So also just to celebrate their life and their life of service to the community. Because what he was saying, Jay, because I was asking him, because when my kids and I drive around the Little Saigon, we see all these men in these jeeps and in these clothing. We're like, oh, who are they?
Right.
And that's what I was asking, because I'm sure a lot of our audience watch and they see these guys driving around. And I said, what are you guys about? And said he's an organization that shows appreciation for our veterans, but also one of the things that they do is that when there's a serviceman and woman who pass away, and many of them don't have a lot of families, they show up. And they do this as a final service to the military
They're
veterans.
kind of like an honor guard.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Because I said it's not just a car club,
right?
But it is an honor guard. And so I thank you so much, Jay, for sharing with us the importance of the military services, on how it brings everybody together. And I really love that, because when I'm in the community, I love saying brotherhood and sisterhood.
Yeah.
And that's what I definitely feel. What does a brotherhood or sisterhood mean to you as you serve in the community or serve in the military?
Yeah, brotherhood and sisterhood, it's important to point out that there are a lot of women in the military as well. And when we put on that uniform, all of our differences go away. And I think it's that shared sense of purpose, right? That we're all in it together.
Yes.
I think that is what I love so much about it. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Chú Jay nói đó là chừng nào mình bận cái quần áo mà military clothing á, thì mình thấy là mỗi người cũng có một cái hướng đi thôi, thì phải hợp tác nhau, phải làm công việc nhau. Thì trong cái công việc của cộng đồng của chú á, chú thấy đó là cộng đồng Việt Nam của mình làm sao để cho đồng kết hơn chú. Tại con thấy rất nhiều, giống như nhiều người không có get along all the time, mà chú có cái ý kiến gì làm sao cho cộng đồng Việt Nam mình giống như cái military service, thấy là mình cũng là anh chị em trong nhà, phải đồng kết nhau cho cái cộng đồng của mình nó tốt đẹp hơn.
Cộng đồng của mình thì là có thể là nhiều người họ có nhiều cái nhìn khác nhau, nhưng mà nếu mà chung đó thì ngay cá nhân của Julie thấy cái hôm mà gây quỹ cho đại hội cảm ơn anh đó, we talking about we have the concert for fundraising for the disabled veterans, and Julie is one of the volunteer, so the young generation, they want to show appreciation. That's how we do in this community here. You know about the Vietnam War Memorial in Westminster. To build that memorial, it's almost like close to $1 million.
Wow. We're going to go to a commercial break, but I want to learn a lot more of all the wonderful things you do to bring the community together. Julie cảm ơn quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV. Sau vòng quảng cáo, chúng tôi sẽ tiếp tục nói chuyện với Chen and chú Pham. Cảm ơn quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV.